Martin from the Contextual Behavioural Science Lab in UCD. In this clip, I will talk about the implications of RFT for clinical practice. As touched upon in an earlier clip, private events acquire stimulus functions by way of mutually entailed relations with the events the person has experienced. For example, thoughts of a relationship breakdown acquire stimulus functions from the breakdown itself. And given that derived relations can expand from mutual relations to enormous relational networks, our ability to frame events relationally expands our opportunities to come into contact with pain and suffering.
That was a good dessert.
Dessert sounds like desert. The desert has sand. There's sand at the beach. And Wesley and I once drove by a beach. Excuse me.
In addition to broadening our interface with pain, relational framing makes it possible for derived stimulus functions to override direct contingencies and increase our insensitivity to changes in the environment. This pattern of rule-induced insensitivity has been demonstrated in analogue studies that bridge the gap between basic and applied science. For example, research has shown that when individuals are given specific instruction on how to perform a task, this rule will continue to govern their behaviour even when the task contingencies are changed so as to render the instruction ineffective. This rule-induced insensitivity is pertinent because many problem behaviours display this pattern of perseveration despite directly experienced adverse consequences. For example, the perpetuation of delusions in the face of overwhelming contradictory evidence and directly experienced negative consequences has been conceptualized as a form of rule-based insensitivity to changing environmental contingencies, and research has supported this account. In addition to helping us better understand psychological problems, RFT can help us better understand psychological therapy. We can view psychotherapeutic models and processes through the lens of RFT by considering the properties of relational framing that were introduced in earlier clips. For example, from an RFT perspective, we can say that cognitive diffusion focuses on changing the context that governs the functions that are transformed according to a specified relation, the contextual cues that determine the impact of relational responding.
I want you to actually watch your mind go as it constructs those scary futures and just notice it. Sort of like the way you carry something that's fragile. I want you just to sort of notice it.
On the other hand, cognitive restructuring can be conceptualized as focusing on changing the context in which particular relations are derived. However, relational context interventions may contain elements that modify the functional context, as may be the case in this clip.
Anyhow, you've had that thought, I'm not lovable. So David is a supreme arbiter of who's lovable in this world and who isn't. Is that correct?
That really sounds dumb when you say it.
So if David said he didn't love me, I should go into an acute depression.
Don't make me laugh when I'm crying, Doctor.
Although we've previously talked about the costs of excessive rule following, an RFT analysis of psychotherapy also reveals the benefits of rule-governed behaviour in instances where the rules prescribe personal values. From an RFT perspective, values congruent to action, the ultimate goal of ACT, is conceptualized as a type of rule following known as augmenting. Specifically, values are classified as motivative augmental rules. They are relational networks that alter the degree to which events associated with a value domain function as reinforcers. Further information on the topics covered in this clip is available from the following resources.